I'd like to lure off a handful of people we're involved in.
It's a battle!
To be getting involved in this. There's a lot of you. Get down there, please.
I got it.
Oh. That's 3 of them. I can deal with that. Scarlet Fury. The others are incompetent buffoons we don't give a crap about.
On it. Smash to pieces.
And the rest of them have decided to involve themselves in this. Great. Deal with the Scarlet Fury, please. Eric, kill. Lantry, go for that. Let me. Eb, you mind? Son of a bitch. These guys really do not want to die for some reason. I mean, really, you'd think they'd enjoy death. It's so cathartic, right? Almost said carthritic, and that's not even a word, I don't think. Or it might be. Just to say. Tiberius, prioritize, please. Eb. How about a little of that? Lantry is dead now? That's annoying. Really, really annoying. Drink a potion and blast them. Now, Eric.
Take that.
I think we need to get their boss on the back foot a little bit. I don't think we need to resort to that ability, though.
I'm injured.
And we're now down to the last member of their idiotic little band here. Tiberius got healing, thank God.
I should try something else.
I'm on.
God damn it, Tiberius. Will you stop dying already? It's highly annoying. And I don't appreciate it. Your death is a pain in the ass whenever it happens, which seems to be a lot.
I require needle and thread.
Go on then. Well, that went as well as we could have hoped for, considering 2 of My party members, including our main character, died. Take everything. And apparently one of the guys up here did not take the bait. It's just some no-name buffoon. Hardly worth talking about. We'll just kill him as per usual and move on.
Nuh-uh.
And there he goes. That was easy. As the last body drops to the ground, you spot the remnants of the encroaching forces scattering in the distance. We've decisively broken the advance on the fortress, ensuring that Sentinel's stand remains in our control. Well done, us. Well done, us. We are awesome. And now, we need to get to Iron Hearth. We dallied long enough breaking that little Scarlet Chorus offensive. Hopefully they've realized what a stupid mistake it was for them to try and go after the disfavored when we are openly siding with them. I mean, really, they should have considered the fact that that is just shy of declaring war on a Fatebinder who has access to spires and has broken edicts and survived. But it looks like our disfavored friends are not quite that smart. Otherwise they would not have done something so stupid. And now it's time for me to basically take everything that isn't nailed down in the area. Because loot. Because loot.
Let me try. Looks simple enough.
Get back to you in a second. We have looting to do. And I want to grab everything in the disfavored camp. Over to here. And they're happy to see us. Nice. That's a lot of disfavored standing around. And let's save the game. We've done a decent amount of progress so far, and I'd hate to lose that to a crash or something. Hey, Graven Ash. For some reason it sends Varric. The great keep of Sentinel Stand is ours. Oh, how I will relish tearing down every vestige of the Unbroken and bearing the standard of that corrupt realm. This is a great victory for the disfavored. As more, we are delivered from the Edict of Storms. My runners speak of you in glowing terms, though I instructed them specifically not to report on your deeds in too much detail. I wanted to hear it from no one but the source. I would know more about how you felt to stand in the center of the storm as the Overlord's magic dissolved around you. You must be weary from your travels. I am eager to hear your account, but I would understand if you need to gather your thoughts. It was a joyous day, and I wouldn't spoil it with impatience. Well, I will tell you this now. I have claimed the mighty ocean spire. Another spire added to your arsenal. But I question what you can do with 2, 3, 7, 8 spires at your command that you cannot do with 1. You sure include me in once you figure it out. I can only imagine that Tunon will be interested as well. Not to mention the voices of Narab. Like it or not, you have our attention, and we will be watching. Well, let us go over our my success, I should say, at Sentinel's Stand. The seat of the Regents and the Tarnished Gem Stalwart. I have anticipated this, so tell me, what do you have to report? Stratus Herodin is dead. And it is gratifying to hear. The coward spent too long crouched behind the walls of Sentinel's Stand and deserved none of Kairos' mercy. The Regent family was an inbred and corrupt line of failed rulers. They had neither the courage nor the grit to lead their realm to prosperity, as they demonstrated. Stalwart is much improved by their absence. And from what we have heard, the everyday inhabitant of Stalwart would probably agree that they're better off with them dead. But not necessarily that they're better off with the disfavored in charge. That's debatable. Also, we have ended the Edict of Storms. And I have breathed fresh air for the first time since I returned to Iron Hearth. You managed to accomplish what my forces could not. More importantly, you have abated Kairos' anger for the time being. With the great stalemate of the conquest ended, surely we have earned the favor of Tunon and Kairos alike. Every deed you accomplish in the name of the disfavored proves our right to rule these lands. Ash balls a fist and enthusiastically pumps it in the air. How did it feel, Fatebinder? I have not had the distinction of breaking an edict, much less several. Well, to be honest, it felt less like breaking a spell and more like absorbing one, to be honest. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. A strange distinction. I would offer you some comforting assurance that this will pass, but that would be an empty promise. Your actions at Vendrian's Well have caused us all to expect more than you were ever prepared to shoulder as a legal clerk. Living up to our admittedly high expectations will do more than merely get you through this war. There are greater things to come once the dust settles. So then, what are our next steps? The Bladegrave region is now controlled by the disfavored. Is there nothing else you wish to discuss? Nothing about my daughter? Ash furrows his brow and looks at you with some unexpected emotion. Very well then. I was not looking forward to this conversation, but I suppose it must be had. You have seen her restored to my keeping. She is safe in Iron Hearth, and in spite of myself, I am pleased to have her home. He nods and releases a heavy sigh. The tension in his shoulders lift, if only for a moment. She has taken to her quarters and speaks not of what transpired during her long imprisonment. I have instructed her guard to offer space and rest, and regain her strength, but so far she keeps to herself. She has not sought her father's counsel either. He frowns at this, deep in thought. Say what you would, then. Let's see. Redefine sedition? No. I'm not going to dodge the issue by saying that. Alright. Well, Tiberius is not particularly happy about having to have this conversation. We are going to just come out and say it. No other way as far as I'm concerned. She had a daughter with Stratus the Younger, the Regent's son. What are you saying, Fatebinder? My Amelia is too noble to lay with a southern wretch, much less willingly bear his polluted offspring. No, this is some fabrication, a joke at my expense. I cannot. Ash squeezes his eyes shut and shakes his head vigorously. No, no, no! The very idea repulses me beyond all measure. And you, Fatebinder, if you would bring slander and atrocity to this fort, and I will instruct Tunon to strike your head from your lawful neck. Do you hear me? He bellows with such force that spittle wets his beard, and the cohorts of the training yard turn with panic in their eyes. Ash cuts off his speech and holds his rigid posture. Through the prolonged silence, you aren't sure if he plans on swinging his mace in a wide arc, or simply exploding from the tension he fights to repress. A vein rises across the crest of his scalp and slowly recedes as Ash calms his breathing. Speak no more of these lies. I won't have them poisoning the air of Iron Hearth and the ears of my fellow countrymen. You are a fool if you think I'd believe such an obvious ruse. Ash regards you with uncertainty, his eyes searching for truth or contradiction. And she didn't say anything at all about her situation? He holds you with your gaze with flat, even focus. Ash takes a deep breath through his nose, filling his lungs and swelling his chest until he has expanded significantly in your vision. When he releases the breath, it comes out deflated and resigned. By the Overlord's mercy, was there ever a father more blind than me? The bundle, the healer, the sorrowful looks worn by her attending soldiers. His gaze shifts over to one of the windows of his castle, just in time to catch a silhouette stepping back from view. Kairos' flames, but I should hurl her and that accursed creature from the rampart walls. Our family name, the very north, is degraded by her lechery. Ash grabs at his face and howls into his hands. But would giving her a deserving punishment comfort you? Perhaps, but she is too stubborn to take a lesson from it. If she willingly soiled her womb with the offspring of a southern lordling, no amount of flogging or degradation could change her heart. The wretched girl is still a member of my legion, but she has broken our bond as surely as if she had killed me. I have lost my daughter, and she must learn to endure a general in her father's place. In spite of my temperament, you have done as I asked. Amelia is returned. The edict is ended. Perhaps I am too quick to blame you for the failings of my once noble house. A haunted expression overtakes the Archon, and the lines running down his face deepen with sorrow. It takes him several moments to blink again and shake himself back to senses. First things first. My soldiers reported on your activities in the Bladegrave. They saw what happened when you broke the edict. The power of this edict flowed through you like the wind. No one could account for it, but I have my suspicions. You're becoming powerful. Perhaps in ways I don't even understand. Well, there is a connection between edicts and what happened at Ascension Hall, that much is certain, but I'm still putting the pieces together. I'm not altogether certain about what is involved. I appreciate your honesty and your introspection. Still, you walk a dangerous path. I would not want it to reflect poorly on the Legion. These are tools beyond the ken of people or Archons alike. Take care that you don't overstep your bounds. In Kairos' hierarchy, someone always notices. With that out of the way, let us return to the matter of the war. Our position in the tiers is strengthening by the day, but there is still work to be done. It's time to broaden our scope in this war. There are two regions of interest, and either of them would strengthen our hold on the realm. Lethian's Crossing is home to merchants and the skilled forge-bound artisans. The Burning Library was home of the all-knowing sages before Kairos reduced it to cinders. Well, I think I'm going to head to Lethian's Crossing. We need to get into the area for one of the spires, and those douchebags in the Bronze Brotherhood are getting in our way constantly. So that matter is pressing. And, to be honest, Tiberius doesn't particularly care about the Burning Library. It's a library that's on fire. Why should he care? Is our thoughts on the matter? Since you were kind enough to leave the crossing in the hands of my legion after your stint as governor, I think you should find the settlement most accommodating. The Forge-bound are critical for keeping Kairos' forces armed, and we should work to shield them from the trials of this war. A Forge-bound master is making her way to the crossing right now. Her name is Zedinia. It would be best to intercept her first. We recognize the value of her and her fellow artisans, and others will inevitably arrive at the same conclusion. An elder one lives in one of the settlement's meager hovels. Lethian, they call him. You may know more about the region. What is it you require? That'll be it, I think. Yeah, well, that conversation about Amelia did not go according to plans. And Ash is going to be pretty pissed at her for probably a very, very long time, but hey, it's his daughter. As much of an self-righteous elitist prick as he is, he's not gonna stay pissed at her forever, I don't think. So, I think he'll get over it in time, and better pissed than dead. Better having her dad pissed at her than being very, very dead, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. Sunset's Fire. We have to travel through Ironhall Trail. Get on it then. Been a while since I was here. Ever since those pricks in the Bronze Brotherhood wouldn't let me through when I was trying to reach the spire early on in this Let's Play. We have received a missive. From two separate Fatebinders. Let's see. Fatebinder, you have proven your cleverness in the face of an apparently impossible choice. Would I have been so wise in the same situation? I cannot say. I only know that I do not envy your mission. I must urge caution, however. Some who watch your actions may be more alarmed than amused. Will they be able to convince themselves that the Overlord crafted the Edict of Storms with this loophole in mind? Or will they see your choice, and see in your choice, I should say, an alternative that cannot be set to parchment? I hope you soon make an effort to join us at court in the Bastard City. I often feel that it has been too long since we last whispered the darker corners of Taratus. You've experienced so many of them of late, perhaps I can provide illumination. Fatebinder Kaleo. Much obliged. We will have to take a little trip to the Bastard City soon to chat up our fellow Fatebinders. Now Fatebinder Regalis, stilling the storm. Your actions at Sentinel Stand have once again supplied the rumor-mongering of the Bastard City with stories to peddle. Some seem to think your cunning twist of the legally is intended to display some great support for the people of Stalwart. That, of course, leads to speculation about which people of Stalwart you intended to benefit, the unbridled upstarts or the corrupt old queens. Others foolishly believe you unraveled the Overlord's edict to prove that you could, as if a sliver of cleverness could bring Hyrule slow. As a scholar, I prefer primary sources to gossip, so allow me to ask plainly, why did you choose to spare the child? We could tell him to fuck off. Tell him it was political. The right thing to do. Let's see. When faced with the choice to save a child or consign it to death, I chose to save it. That does not seem so strange a thing to me. Either decision would have fulfilled the Overlord's will. The last ruling house of Stalwart met its end in the Blade Grave. You need read nothing more into it than that. And that is, I believe, what Tiberius would say. And if Regalis chooses to get all pissy about it, then we'll deal with it then. Don't ask him to let me through. So you're saying my station means nothing to you? He said I could pass. Let's see. Again, no offense needed. Those are the rules. Rat Tomon set. I think that we want to save the game now because I'm here. I'm in Ironhall Trail. Let's see. We will try and bullshit him. He said I'd pass. Fuck you. First of all, I have 35 bronze rings and 11 copper rings. I don't remember him saying how much this toll is. But I could bite my tongue and just pay it anyways. Ugh. Do well to watch your tone when speaking to a Fatebinder. Not about Kairos' forces. I've reaped the rewards of my loyalty and will not make that mistake again. You've taken my home, but I will have it back. This isn't your land anymore, bitch. Such arrogant. Bruiser. Douche. I'm going to try something because I imagine he's not going to want to do things my way. That's about as much looking around as we can reasonably expect to do, it looks like. Let me see. Welcome to Ironhull Trail, Fatebinder of Tunon. With all that running around, I wasn't sure you were ever going to make it over here. I haven't made up my mind if I should be offended you didn't speak to me first, or happy I get the final word. I hope Will didn't vex you too much. He's a good enough sort. He just enjoys his job a little more than he should. Hint of a smile plays across her lips. Thinks he's being sly, taking a cut of every toll. He's told practically everyone what he's doing by now. Did Ratomon have anything of note to tell you, or is he still wasting his time scouring dead bodies for information he'll never find? He looks south and sighs softly. I will admit, he's led this group to some minor glories, but I fear how we will end up if something doesn't change. She salutes you. My name is Wilby, first axe for the Bronze Brotherhood, though I'm not sure that title matters anymore. Never mind, you needn't be burdened with my problems. What can I help you with? What does your title mean? I wish I knew. The first axe protects and consults with the First Brother. I'm supposed to be Ratomon's advisor, confidant, and guard. Lately his behavior has become erratic. He's acting paranoid, manic, and distrustful. My duty is to protect the First Brother, but I'm also sworn to the Brotherhood, and if that means his removal, so be it. He has too many supporters in Lethian's Crossing right now to speak out against him. What do you think has happened to him? Honestly, I can speak to the cause. The stress of leadership, the battle with Kairos' forces, his knights in the Old Wall. When you decided to remove the Brotherhood from the Crossing, it certainly set him off. Does it matter? His behavior is endangering the Brotherhood, and he must be stopped before we are destroyed. I fear people will be hurt by far more than a simple toll. Well, hypothetically speaking, if you were in charge of the Brotherhood, how would you run it? I wouldn't waste time and resources on petty vendettas, that much I can tell you. I like battle, and I like rings, and with the Brotherhood, we used to get both regularly. Now all we have is fear, suspicion, and blood. I want the disciplined regiment back, and I intend to have it. While I may agree that we were treated unjustly, Ratomon's methods for obtaining restitution are despicable. True, acting like a child when you don't get what you want is the behavior of a child, not of a leader. But in this case, the child is controlled of an army capable of laying waste to his home. True enough, but why are travelers being forced to pay a toll? Ratamon will say it's because it's what we're due, and part of me is inclined to agree with him. But if I were pressed, I would say his pride is hurt and he's lashing out. He can be such a child sometimes. Just watch yourself around him. He hasn't seemed completely in control lately. Frightening to see what he's becoming. Do not swear an oath to your leader. I knew your loyalty was available to the highest bidder, but I never guessed it extended into treachery. Ratamon's plan This can doom our entire troop, and I intend to prevent that from happening. I am loyal, not blindly devoted to someone intent on marching me off a cliff's edge. Alright, that's fair enough. If he's doing something stupid, that's a reason to stop being loyal. But tell me about the Bronze Brotherhood. I have to admit, I know precisely jack shit about them at the moment. We're mercenaries, plain and simple. I'm not going to pretend like it's anything more. And it's true we have in recent years been a little more stationary than your typical crew. It doesn't change the fact that our services can be purchased if the price is right. We both know full well that the rings the voices gave us were the only thing that bought our allegiance to Kairos when the Overlord turned an eye to the crossing. Even if our thanks for helping was to be thrown from our home. Our homes, even. She contemplates you for a moment. Not that I hold any ill will towards you for it. Decisions have to be made, and there's always someone who must pay the price. I just hope you realize some people don't like being asked to pay. Rasumon will try to sell you on our long and noble traditions, doing air quotes here, by the way, like we're some kind of altruistic saints who can do no wrong, but that story is as old and smelly as Grandma Beastman's tall hairs. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to take a job that doesn't seem right for me, but a ring's a ring, and I will go where the money leads me. One point Ratamon and I will agree on is this. We did a job for Kairos, but we're not treated fairly. The Brotherhood is strong and we have the numbers. We fight to the last man, I just don't agree with his methods. On your leave and be careful. And this is very unfortunate. First of all, Nudie McAloot. And our favorite douchebag does not want to let me through even when I'm willing to pay. Blah 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 blah. Humble group with noble traditions. Side of honor, if there's an injustice we call it. Yes. Yes, you sound like upstanding citizens talking out my ass. I'm glad someone finally sees us for what we are. I'm tired of people calling us mercenaries and sell swords. So we get paid. We need to live. Tell me about Welby, whatever the hell that is. First act. She seems to have forgotten her place. She's not the head. I am. She doesn't stop overreaching, or I'll have to replace her. Why is Lethian crossing so important to you? We're asked to do a job and we did it. Then what happens? You throw us out of our home. By all rights, the city is ours, and suddenly Kairos wants it. Well, I intend to get it back. I refuse to let this matter die. We protected the crossing for years, and even ensured Kairos' forces could do business here when Narat asked us to. No, we did the job we were asked, and this land belongs to us. So you said you don't do it for the money, but isn't that why you're fighting over the crossing? I don't appreciate your tone or the implications, Fatebinder. This is a mere matter of principle. We performed a service and we're paid for that service. Don't try to glibly explain away a complex situation. This is our home. I'll have it, no one else. If you're here to insult me, leave. And you plan on taking it how, exactly? Why would you ask this? Voice drops to whisper. Is Welby planning to undermine my strategy? Well, it doesn't look like we're getting into the crossing through any way except attacking and killing all of the members of this here goon squad. So, combining that with the fact that this recording is just over an hour long now, I am going to end this recording session here. This has been DarkPhoenix Ninja 92, and you've been watching my Let's Play of Tyranny. If you've enjoyed this, then please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to see more like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Until then, folks, until then.